What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. This is David Heretic bringing you a special edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And you're probably wondering, what makes this edition so special? Well, it's very simple, folks. If you look at your calendar, today is the very first day of the new year. It is officially 2022. Hey, now, come on now. Give it to me. That's right. We are past 2021. Look, can we be honest? I think we can be honest with each other. I think we all can agree that 2020 sucked, right? I think we can all agree with that. And when 2021 hit, I think we were all thinking the same thing. It can't possibly get worse, right? Well, it didn't get worse, but it didn't get better either. 2021 was pretty dismal as well. I think we can honestly say that, okay?
That's true.
So, we've had two pretty horrible years in a row. I think we're ready for a win. I think we are absolutely due for a win. So, I am hoping, I really am, and I believe that 2022 is going to be a much better year. Let's hope for it. Yes, let's not even just hope for it. Let's make it happen. What do you say? So, that is why this edition is so special. It's the very first episode of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants for the year 2022. And look, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. We're going to do it with something pretty amazing. So, tonight, we are coming back to Chris Cornell. Yes, indeed. Chris Cornell fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. This comes as a request from Jason Karts, and this is actually one of Jason Karts' 3 prioritized requests for the month of January for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So here you go, Jason. I hope you enjoy the show, man. Jason wanted to see me react to this song by Chris Cornell called Patience. Now, have I heard this song before? It's possible. I don't know too many songs called Patience. I do know there is a song by Guns N' Roses called Patience. And I do know Chris Cornell, later on in his career, I know he started doing quite a bit of cover work. So, I don't know if this is his rendition and his cover of the Guns N' Roses song Patience. It very well could be. I could see it. I could absolutely imagine it. So, it's possible I've heard this before, if it's a cover. Now, if it's an original, then I haven't heard it before. But if it's a cover, yes, I have heard it before. So, I'm not sure which way to go with this. We won't know until we start listening, I guess. This was posted by Chris Cornell, okay? And the video has 9.7 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? All right, let's kick off 2022 with a bang, because here we go. All right, here we go. Chris Cornell, Patience, official video. That's all I got. This could be the Guns N' Roses song that he's doing as a cover, or this could be an original. I don't know. As soon as I figure it out, I'll let you know. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
still alright to smile. Girl, I think about you every day now.
Okay, so this is a cover. All right. I wasn't sure. I had a feeling it was going to be the cover, but I was only like 60% sure. So I had to be sure. Okay, so here's the deal. I know the song, so I can't react to the song, unfortunately. I know the song. I've heard the song dozens of times, so I'm very familiar with the song. But I've never heard this rendition, so I could still do a reaction to what Chris Cornell is doing, what his version is, his interpretation, his arrangement, his performance. I can react to that, but I cannot react to the song itself in any way, shape, or form. So please keep that in mind, okay? Let's keep going here.
Was a time when I wasn't sure. You set my mind at ease. There ain't no doubt you're in my heart now. Say, woman, take it slow. It'll work itself out fine. All we need is just a little patience. Said sugar, make it slow. We will come together fine. All we need is just a little patience. I sit here on the stairs. I'd rather be alone. If I can't have you right now, I'll wait, dear. Sometimes it gets so tense, I can't speed up the time. But you know, love, there's one more thing to consider.
It's an interesting take. I know the original, it's acoustic as well. It feels like the tempo might, believe it or not, I think the tempo on this song might be actually just a slight bit faster. I think it is. I think it is actually just a tiny, tiny bit faster. It's interesting. Hearing a single guitar as opposed to layered guitars, it's interesting too. It kind of gives it it's a thinner sound. It's a more hollow sound, but at the same time, it's also a more intimate sound. Rather than an ensemble sound, it's a solo guitar by itself, which, you know, obviously makes it thinner and more hollow from a layered standpoint, but it's really high up in the mix, so it's not like in the background, you know, disappearing. It's way up at the front, so it's not subtle. It's pretty prominent. Let's keep going for right now. Let's see where this goes.
Say, woman, take it slow, and things will be just fine. If you and I just use a little patience. Said, sugar, take the time, 'cause the lights are shining bright. You and I got what it takes to make it. I've been walking the streets
That
at
second line.
night, just trying to get it right. Hard to see with so many around. You know I don't like being stuck in a crowd. Streets all change, but maybe the names. You know I ain't got time for the game, 'cause I need you. Yeah, I need you.
There's some great things happening. Just some subtle things, but they're subtle, and they're not huge. They're not like trying to grab your attention and hold on to it because they're fleeting little moments. It's little things like that ascending line I just heard in the guitar where you had that ascending melodic line. It only lasted for a measure. It was just one measure, but it was cool, man. It got my attention. And then just as quick as it grabbed me, it just disappeared. And I have a feeling that's being done in context to the message of the song. Is that those fleeting things, you know? Things happen one way or another, for the good, for the bad, but they're just moments. They're just moments. And just as quickly as they happen, they're over. It's over and done. Now, what we choose to do with that could have repercussions that last for decades. You know, it could. But the moment itself, it's fleeting. It's absolutely fleeting. It's here, and just as quickly, it's gone. And I like those little subtle takes, those little subtle lines, those little subtle movements that, seriously, they come in, and just as quickly as they arrive, they're gone. I love that. I love that sense. It's a really good tie-in and a really good approach, considering what the message of the song is about. So, really nice job. Let's finish this out, and then we'll get to the review.
I'm for the game 'cause I need you. Yeah, I need you. Say, woman, take it slow. It'll work itself out fine. All we need is just a little patience. Said sugar, make it slow. We will come together fine. All we need is just a little patience.
Really good. I have some thoughts. I have some questions too. I'll see you in the review. We'll talk about everything, I promise. Well, there you go, folks. That was Chris Cornell with his rendition of the Guns N' Roses tune Patience. This was a request from Jason Cart, and this was actually one of Jason Cart's 3 prioritized requests for the month of January for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, Jason. I hope you enjoyed the show, man. Okay, so before I give the score, I need to reiterate a couple of things. Number 1, I am not grading the song itself in any way, shape, or form. Why? Because I've already heard the original song many times before, so I can't honestly do a reaction or review to a song that I've heard before. You know, it wouldn't be honest, and I'm not going to do that to you guys. But since this is a cover, and he did some differences, I do feel comfortable giving a score based on what Chris Cornell did to the song, his arrangement, not the song itself, but his arrangement of that song, what he did to it, the embellishments he took, the liberties he took. I can definitely review that, and I can grade that. So please keep that in mind. I'm not judging the original song. I am only judging what Chris Cornell did. Having said that, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 7.8. Yep, 7.8. I feel great about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
This was a really good cover. It was a really good cover. A couple of things that Chris Cornell did that I thought were really interesting and I really enjoyed. First thing, the most noticeable thing to me was the key change. So the Guns N' Roses version was originally written in G major. So it's and Chris Cornell's version is in A major. So it's a full step up, 2 semitones up. And I know a lot of people are thinking, well, it's not that big of a difference.
I respectfully disagree.
It is a huge difference. If Chris Cornell had did a key change that fit within the G major chord, like let's say he went to, B major, or he went to D major, that would be, that'd be a much bigger jump. But let's say he did go to D major. It's within the context of the G major, however. So would it have been different? Yes. Would it have sounded different? Yes. Would it have sounded that different? I don't know. I don't think it would have, because it's still, the D major falls within the context of G major. By switching only up to an A major, 2 semitones up, he fell completely out of the context of A major. Completely. Unless you're talking about the 9, at which point, you could do a G major 9 chord, sure you could, but, it's going to sound a little out, but you could do it. Now, having him doing an A, 2 semitones up, it's a big switch, it's a big difference, and it was extremely noticeable. It took me a couple of measures before I realized that he was playing the Guns N' Roses song. I was sitting there listening to it, I'm like, it's the same chordal structure, but the key change is so different because it was only up 2 semitones completely out of the G major chord. If he had done it in D, it would have taken probably like maybe 2 measures and I would have recognized it. But because he did make the switch the way he did, it was a lot more different from a chordal structure standpoint, which I thought that was really good. I thought that was brilliant the way he changed the key there. To A major. That was cool. The arrangement on the song, as far as instrumentation goes, really stripping it down. Single vocal, single guitar. I think I may have heard some. I couldn't tell if that was percussion or if that was just his thumb hitting the body of the guitar. I don't know if it was percussion instruments or guitar just being hit. I don't know. But I could have sworn I heard some percussion hits in there. So maybe there were percussive instruments, maybe there weren't. Maybe it was just him using his thumb to tap the body of the guitar. But stripping it down like that simplified it. It really did. I'm not going to lie. I did miss the layers. I did miss the fullness, the full sounding arrangement that Guns N' Roses did. Absolutely. I really did miss the fullness. But stripping it down the way that Chris Cornell did, having it on a single guitar, but bringing that guitar up in the mix, and most importantly, EQing it properly to give it a nice, bright sound so it would cut through. That was smart. That was smart. I gotta give him credit for that. The fleeting moment lines that I was talking about earlier, those quick little melodic runs that he would do every now and then, very strategically placed, very tastefully done, not overdoing it. To be perfectly honest, I think he probably could have done a few more and it would have been fine, but I'm glad he didn't, because it kept the moments fleeting, which goes hand in hand with the theme of the song, so it makes perfect sense. Lastly, the vocal performance on this. I know this is what everybody's probably waiting for. What did I think of the vocal performance? I think Chris Cornell did a fantastic job covering the song vocally. I do. I think that was probably one of the stronger points. Despite a lack of layers within the instrumentation of the song, Chris Cornell's vocals definitely brought the power to help kind of make up for those lack of layers. He definitely had a very strong vocal performance on this. Great projection, great power, great diction, good sustain, vibrato, but not overly used vibrato. That's one of my biggest gripes when it comes to vibrato. I have 2 complaints when it comes to vibrato. 1, people do it too much. They overdo it. 2, they do it incorrectly, and they vibrato from the throat rather than from the diaphragm, which is where you're supposed to be doing vibrato from. So those are my 2 big gripes, and I didn't hear either one of those when it came to Chris's vibrato on this. He would sustain, he would go in clean. Most of the time he would start clean, add vibrato for effect, and then right before he ended, he went clean again. He cut off the vibrato. That tells me he's doing vibrato strictly for effect. He didn't need to use vibrato to cover up any inconsistencies in pitch or in tone. He did strictly for effect, and it sounded fantastic. No, look, this was a really good job. It's a really good job. It was a really good interpretation of the Guns N' Roses tune. I really have no complaints about this, other than I did kind of miss the layers. But like I said, the layering of instruments was made up for with proper EQing of the guitar and through Chris's power and projection in his voice. So that definitely helped. And having that kind of an intimate one-man show feel kind of gave it a different feel to the song as a whole. And I could definitely appreciate it. Now, this was a great job. You know what? The more I'm talking, the more I'm realizing, I don't know if that 7.8 is really good enough. You know what? I'm going to change it.
You what?
I'm going to change it. Look, hey, it's my show, all right? Look, if I feel like changing the score, I'm going to change the score. No, it's a little too high. A little too high. Yeah. There we go. That, yeah. No, still a little too high. There we go. That's it right there. Okay, that's the one. Okay, changed my mind, so here we go. Now I'm changing the score officially. Now this is it. This is where I'm staying. On a scale of 1 to 10, after careful consideration, well, actually, to be more specific, after careful reconsideration, upon further review, as they say in the NFL world, upon further review, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that an 8.0. Yep, 8.0. I feel great about that score. 8.0 is where we are, and 8.0 is where we're going to stay. So, 8.0, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hopefully you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you did enjoy the show, and you would like to see more videos like this, feel free to join the fan base by clicking on that button down there. Yeah, you know the button I'm talking about. Click on that button, join the fan base, become one of us. Now, for whatever reason, if you don't feel like clicking on that button, that's okay. I still respect you. Also, if you did enjoy the video, please feel free to give the video a thumbs up. It'll do me a world of good and it will do you absolutely no harm whatsoever. Finally, if you guys do join the fan base, you will find a bell down there that you can click on. By clicking on that bell, it'll keep you up to date on everything happening with this channel, including when new content gets dropped. So, if you want to stay in the know, click on the bell, and you'll stay in the know. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Until next time, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.